We've had a great year of shooters, with many great titles coming along to give us our fix of deadly combat, in which the stakes are high and the guns are glorious. Many of these shooters brought unique mechanics, concepts, and narrative frames, which they used to justify the action, with varying degrees of success, of course. Some of them did a better job than others, though, and choosing a favorite among them was surprisingly easier than a similar choice in other categories. So are you curious to know which one caught our fancy in this very competitive corner of the gaming world? Well, let's begin with the nominees and work our way up from there. Let's jump in. The nominees for the best shooter of 2025 are: number 1, Escape from Tarkov. There's so much to like about this one. It does a brilliant job of making you feel like you're a battle-hardened mercenary, while its movement systems and excellent weapon variety make it a very viable option for those of you who like playing multiplayer online. Its premise does a great job at providing context for your actions, while the visuals can make things quite immersive indeed. As far as shooters go, Escape from Tarkov is definitely up there with the best ones of 2025. Number 2, Arc Raiders. Innovative, intense, and very interesting, Arc Raiders' spin on the extraction shooter formula has given its players a chance to create some truly memorable experiences. Its post-apocalyptic world is one in which you can't really trust anybody, but when you find someone you can, it's a beautiful moment, with the potential for some spectacular ambushes on other raiders. It's also fast-paced and dripping with agency for its players, that this gameplay loop is one that's going to keep us diving back for more every time we get the chance. Number 3, Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 had a lot riding on its shoulders after the debacle that was Battlefield 2042. The game has managed to live up to the hype, however, despite a poor response to its single-player campaign. Its visuals are outstanding, while the kinesthetic movement system does wonders for its gameplay. The Portal is so much better this time around, while its weapons, destructible environments, and a general feel of polish being a part of the experience make this one worth owning. Number 4, Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl on PS5. As a version of Stalker 2 that came complete with all of the game's updates over the past year, along with some great touches from GSC that made use of the DualSense's haptics and adaptive triggers, the PS5 version of the game is the one to beat. It's very immersive, while the improved and patched A-Life system and the newly added improvements to stealth make exploring the zone on your PS5 an experience in which you're always at risk, even as you hunt down your enemies with skill and precision. The story is great, and the world is one in which there is a lot of potential for unscripted chaos. Number 5, Doom: The Dark Ages. The Slayer returned for a third installment that channels everything that makes the first-person shooter genre so exhilarating. However, id Software's switched-up gameplay loop coupled with a setting that explored the early days of the Slayer's battles against enemy forces made this one a brutal romp through incredibly rendered environments. Of course, those environments were peppered with deadly enemies and cool weapons for the Slayer to take on, and the entire experience is a blast from start to finish. You can't go wrong with Doom: The Dark Ages if you're in the market for a new shooter. Number 6, Sniper Elite: Resistance. Rebellion's return to the Sniper Elite franchise has been a largely entertaining trip, and watching Harry Hawker take on the Wunderwaffe was a delight. Of course, the gameplay mechanics were a huge part of that happiness, with a lot of freedom being given to players in determining their approach to a target. The X-ray kill cam and a lot of solid optional content makes this a great choice for those of you who like to shoot from a distance. Number 7, The Outer Worlds 2. This follow-up to its 2019 predecessor is an RPG that's going to have you grinning to yourself on many occasions, even as you power through some intense battles and navigate a complex world with nuanced interactions between its factions and for your character. The Outer Worlds 2 is full of memorable moments that's balanced out by a story with some serious stakes. With a lot of potential for build creation and excellent replay value, this is a game that can suck up a massive chunk of your life if you decide to take it on. Number 8, Escape from Tarkov. Team Soda's unique spin on an extraction shooter balances adorable characters with nail-biting action in this one. The top-down presentation works well to give weight to its mechanics, while the visuals and story lend it a pace that's quite satisfying. As a single-player extraction shooter, Escape from Tarkov stands out from the crowd, with a gameplay loop that seems deceptively simple until a firefight breaks out. It's definitely worth a shot, pun intended. Number 9, Alien Rogue Incursion Evolved Edition. Although the main campaign was a little too short for our liking, this tension-filled trek through a xenomorph-infested facility was quite thrilling. The Xenos are brutal and relentless, coming at you from every possible angle, while you're left scrambling to find a good position and launch your counterattack. The story on offer is quite riveting too, and it can be very rewarding to hunt down all of the lore drops you find in the well-rendered world. If only the next chapter of the story could get here faster. Number 10, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Samus Aran's Metroid Prime 4 Beyond has been a great game, making us burn the midnight oil more often than usual thanks to how addictive its gameplay loop can be. Its combat mechanics are top shelf, while your psychic powers can be the road to some very creative ways to cause mayhem. This one is a great addition to the genre and ticks all the right boxes that make up a solid shooter. Number 11, Metal Eden. If you're a fan of shooters that require you to move fast and shoot faster, look no further than Metal Eden. With a lot of excellent mobility options at your disposal in the field, along with some great weapons and a very well implemented bullet time mechanic, Asuka is capable of taking on the android antagonists who stand between her and the cores. Its gameplay and level design are somewhat let down by a lack of balancing and weapon progression systems, but it's still an excellent shooter nonetheless. Number 12, Borderlands 4. The Vault Hunters have returned, and with style. This is an action RPG that doesn't take itself too seriously, unless it's an aspect of the experience that really counts. As such, its story and gameplay are excellent, while the franchise's unique art style continues to hold its own among current-gen productions. With an open world that hides a lot of fun things to do, and the franchise's signature style guiding you along, you're going to want to keep an eye on the clock as you play this one, unless you're planning to lose track of time. Number 13, Warhammer 40k Space Marine Master Crafted Edition. Sneaky Box's remaster of Dimitri and Titus's 2011 adventure continues to be a brilliant Warhammer 40k game. While it can be a little over the top in certain moments of its story, the combination of melee and range combat works very well with the weapon variety on offer and the narrative framing of the Ultramarines. This is a quintessential Warhammer experience and is one that's worth diving into even after all these years. Number 14, Ready or Not on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. We're going to tell you that this one came quite close to actually being the victor of this year's best shooter. Its gameplay loop is filled with a sort of tension that comes from a presentation that's done exceedingly well. It's straightforward and easy to grasp, while its moment-to-moment unpredictability makes it a challenge to master. Even the best of players might find themselves in the midst of a chaotic shootout, a single mistake costing them a lot of careful planning and tactical infiltration. Ready or Not is a masterpiece, but it might not be everybody's cup of tea thanks to its sensitive content. Number 15, Gears of War Reloaded. Marcus Phoenix's PS5 debut was all sorts of awesome, with a visual overhaul of the original experience working well with a story that continues to be as exciting as it was back in the day. Gears of War continues to be a franchise that does the shooter genre justice. From the nostalgic factor alone to the mechanics and weapons you can wield, Gears of War Reloaded is a great shooter, and its multiplayer scene continues to thrive thanks to the franchise's immense popularity. Well, we've put our cards on the table, and now comes the challenge of selecting a winner. While it hasn't been easy and competition has been intense, the winner of the best shooter of 2025 is Arc Raiders. This is a title that's so unique and full of potential for community-driven chaos that it simply races ahead of its competition, bringing a very unique experience to the extraction shooter space, while its gameplay loop lends itself very well to unpredictability and tension between its world's inhabitants. Lose yourself in this one and you're going to find that your fellow raiders are your best friends and worst enemies all at once. So yeah, it's been awesome trying out all of 2025's greatest shooters. Here's to many more excellent ones in 2026. So what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.